All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, you guys, again, had a fantastic week thus far. It is Friday, September 30th. Yes, it is the last pre-market live of the month of September, guys. It has been a insane ride, not only the past month of September, but the past quarter. So first things first, I want to say thank you, guys. It's been an amazing, amazing time. Really, and just as good of a Q3 as I could have asked for. So it hasn't ended the way that I really wanted to the last week. But you know what? That's coming off one of my hottest, time periods ever. So really just, again, couldn't be happier with the progression and the gains from this past quarter. We are starting a new quarter on Monday. So with that, please don't forget, we will be trading 2 accounts live. We will have the 25K intraday account being traded starting Monday. And then we will have the 10K higher confidence swing account that will be getting traded as well. May take a weekend swing with Book this weekend, but for the most part, that'll be, we'll start looking at swings for that on Monday. So again, guys, very excited for October. We're getting closer to midterms, and I'm really, really, really hoping that that's where we get the range and continuation and theme, runs, because that's really what I'm waiting on, right? Is I'm trying to be patient in the meantime. This is the SPY daily right now, guys. Just to illustrate, we've spent the better part of the last 6 days. Well, we have spent the last 6 days in between 371 and 360, right? And the majority of that trading has taken place really between 362 and 368. That's a very tight range on the S&P 500, guys. We're talking about 6 points, right, of range. So for a breakdown or breakout trader, which is what I like and specialize in, right, is trading momentum to the downside or momentum to the upside. This is a hard market because when the SPY daily looks like that, you're not getting a lot of breakouts or breakdowns, right? They're more tight in terms of range, right? And I like trading those bigger breakdown or breakup days, right? So, like I said, guys, this is just kind of the market that we're in right now, and it'll pass too. For me, I think this has probably been a pretty frustrating market environment for a lot of people the last 6 days. It's no coincidence. I'm never, as consistent when we see the market look like this on the daily chart. But really, that's a product of, what do you specialize in? What are you good at? And knowing your strengths like that is really, really important. So, all right, guys, watch list for today. Number one name that I am going to be watching is AMD off of MU earnings. This is probably my top focus setup. Between 62 and 59.40, there is a nice area of support. I will be looking to see if MU can rebound, right? Or if we see a rebound, AMD long with an upside target of 69 would be my kind of, ideal setup, right? We're trading 63.65 in pre-market. I think that's honestly kind of perfect. It's flushing down in pre-market already. Lows are 62.83. I would love to see a flush down to this level and then gauge from there, but I think that this name has kind of been ignored now for a while. And again, I think it's going to offer a really nice opportunity today. It could offer a nice opportunity both ways, really, but I definitely am really focused on the 62.90 level. If we see buyers step in at this level on AMD, which was our lows from yesterday, I do think that we could bounce to the upside into 66, 67 plus. So I'd watch for kind of that double bottom to form, right? Like basically you get that. This is anticipating, right? You get that move down to 62, and then you see that kind of upside move into 65, 68, right, type of area. That's what I'm going to be kind of looking for. So if we see that setup form, great. If not, AMD definitely my top focus if that setup presents itself. Tesla. This was one of the weakest names on the S&P 500 yesterday. Extremely, extremely heavy, guys. I think we are at that point right now, and it's not even I think. We are at that point where we are seeing the leaders fall, right? We are seeing names like Apple. We are seeing names like Tesla. We are seeing the big two, right, that retail investors are piled into start to fall apart. Apple was down 7% yesterday, or 5.5% yesterday. Tesla was down 7%, right? These can unwind relatively quickly because there is retail selling involved. If we see Tesla break down under 265, I do think that it will see 252 rather quickly. So definitely going to be looking at next week's Tesla puts under that 265 level. I kept mentioning that level yesterday. This is the daily, right? The last time we saw a dip down, retested 254. That got ate up pretty quickly, right? That's going to be an important level to watch. If I clear my levels, right, and we look at the weekly on Tesla, well, let's stay on the daily for a second here, right? It's bounce or die, right? This is a bounce or die type of chart. Either you find support right here at your most two recent low points, right, on the daily, or you test lows. That's how I look at it, right? That's how my brain interprets this chart, is this is a bounce or die type of chart. 265 is very, very important here on Tesla, and we can see that, right? We've seen the accelerating selling volume coming in, right? Yesterday we saw that accelerated daily volume stick, right, of selling. That's going to be important to pay attention to. We have not seen seller exhaustion yet. We need to see Tesla probably fade down towards 230, in my opinion. That's where, my ultimate target would be over the next month or so. I really think that if you look back at past trends, it would make sense if we saw some type of capitulation move in the next 2 weeks in terms of timing. But, like I said, I'm not going to try to predict any of those type of things. My job is to react to the market in front of me. So again, 265 is my reaction point on Tesla, right? If we see strong buyers come in at 265, I will play the long side move. If we see sellers remain at 265, guys, that is where I'm going to look to take Tesla short. Down to the 254 level, I will be looking at the 260 puts for next week, so October 7th. That is going to be my focus going into today, guys. Really, again, I'm going with the closer to being in the money strike, and I'm going with, that downside exposure, right, on a name like Tesla, right? Just because you have to remember there is so much retail money inside Tesla and Apple that you're going to see those fall last, and when they do, they're really going to crack, right? And that's probably, in my opinion, where you see a scenario where you could have the S&P 500 at, 340 or 330, which would be like just at pre-COVID highs, and have, names like Roblox, Coinbase, Rivian at their same levels or just below, because there's not as much retail money in those names looking to sell, right? You've seen so much seller exhaustion on those names already. People are out of those names already. People are still in Tesla, Apple, other names of that nature, right? You're still seeing, high retail exposure to names like Tesla, Apple, even ARK is starting to see some heavy outflows. So again, I think we're, in that phase, right? So again, under 265, 254 target on Tesla. If 265 holds, remember that daily chart that I just went over on the S&P 500, guys. We have been in a range-bound market, right? We have been in a range-bound market. So I would not be surprised if we bounce, okay? The downside has been 20 times easier the past week and a half, 2 weeks, because that's just the, general momentum that we've been seeing. We had one upside day, right? We've printed one green day in the last 9 days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, out of the last 9 days, we've had one green day, okay? If we fail at 358, that is now your new key level, right? We tested that level in pre-market, and then yesterday, intraday, we made a new low on the S&P 500. We are definitely starting to see some buying pressure come in the 350s and 360s. I really think that we will see that mass kind of buying pressure come in 340s, 330s, another 10% down, right? On the Qs, if you look at the Qs, they're testing their 200-week 200-day moving average on the weekly, guys. Really what I'm going to be looking for on the Qs is how do we react to 268 today? If Tesla breaks under 265, I don't think the Qs can hold 268. That's what I'm going to be really focused on, right? QQQ is already down 35% from its highs. I still think it can let out a little bit more air. But again, guys, going into today, Tesla will be one of my main focuses. Apple will be the other, right? It's provided really clean levels the past couple days. Yesterday's move was pretty much straight off the open. But as you can see, we're having a really hard time regaining that 143 level, right? You can see kind of that selling pressure coming in. If we look at that 143.87 level, that's now the key level to the upside. $143 is our key level to the upside here on Apple. I'm going to pull up the 30-minute just so you can see what I'm talking about from an illustration perspective. That 143 level is starting to look very toppy. 143.87 down to 143.50. That's our pre-market high, 143.59. If Apple cracks under yesterday's lows, 140.68, I do think that we could see further downside pressure into 137, which is the key level on the weekly. Now, one thing I am going to mention, very, very important. We are going to close a quarterly candle, which is big. That only happens 4 times a year. We're going to close a monthly candle. We're going to close a weekly candle. And we are obviously going to close 3 major time frame candles today. Today is going to be a big day for the quarter, so I'm very, very focused. There is nothing wrong with sitting back and watching today. I will play some Lotto Friday setups if they present themselves, but I like doing that in a market that has more range. We are in a range-bound market. If we see that range break today, then I will obviously play some Lotto Friday setups to the downside if we see that breakdown. But until then, guys, today is a day of patience. It's the last day of the quarter. Again, it's been a fantastic month. I've had a fantastic time with you all, and I'm very excited to end it strong today. Very excited. Resetting the account to 25K on Monday, and we are going to get absolutely after it, do the same thing we did this past quarter. Excited to take on Q4 with you guys. I know it's been kind of a choppier end to Q4 or Q3, but very excited to take on Q4. I will see you guys on Discord Live Voice for Free Money Friday. Peace.